Johnny Bench actually batted against Tommy John, the Hall of Famer, former Cincinnati Reds catcher, joining us on this topic. Johnny, what role would you have played? Let's say you got somebody throwing a perfect game, and you being the catcher, you go out to the mound. Could you have done anything to keep your pitcher? Could you have done anything to keep Clayton Kershaw in the game?
Well, I think, first of all, Dan, it's early in the season. I think we look back at Johan Santana, and that basically ended his career. So, I mean, what's all the big deal about the fact that he got a perfect game? We're in the second week of baseball, and the fact that this guy has to pitch into September, October, I think is more important than all of this. And the arm trouble he's had, the back trouble he's had, he's going to extend the effort in the 8th and 9th inning. If he gets through the 8th, he's going to go out and try to throw harder and smarter in the 9th inning. Going to try to snap off the curveball, hard slider, everything else. All he needs is one tweak. There goes the down. He's out for a month. I think it's just way too smart for them to not take him out. I think it was just the right choice. And by the way, hi, Dan.
Hi, buddy. Well, I thought you would go old school on me. You got to be tough guy and, make history. You got a chance for a perfect game.
You the king of analytics and saying how many pitches we've thrown?
No.
And how many numbers of rotation that it was? We have now the rotation period of it. And how many times the spinning was going on? 9 for a good curveball, 11 for a really good curveball, and a great curveball would be 13 rotations. So if we got the rotation level down, and we know that now it's down at 11 a quarter and down from 11 and a half, which is a very important statistic, I think, in our lives. Where's my bobblehead? I keep looking.
Where
Fritzy's got it probably on his desk.
I think Fritzy's got it back there.
Yeah,
we got your bobblehead. You never caught a perfect game. You caught no-hitter?
Oh, sure. Bring that up again. I mean, here we go with that. I didn't call a perfect game. I did caught a no-hitter. I caught a no-hitter. Jim Maloney, as good a right-hander as ever pitched in the game. Nobody will ever bring that up, but he was.
Was that against Houston?
It was, and then they turned around and Don Wilson won the next night. Very good. You might have been at the game.
I was at the Ken Holtzman game.
Oh, thanks. How about Rick Wise?
I was at that game. He had 2 home runs, and he threw a no-hitter against the Reds.
And they didn't want to take him out because of his bat. They wanted to keep him in for his bat.
But, we get caught up in the pitch count now. But Kershaw is a pitcher. There are a lot of throwers. And throwers, I understand pitch count. With a pitcher, it's a little bit different. And I agree with you. It's in Minnesota. It's his first start since last October. And although I wonder, if they had been in Los Angeles, Johnny, 40,000, 45,000, sunny weather, 75 degrees, think Dave Roberts reconsiders leaving him in?
He might. But I think he's too valuable to that organization right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost Scherzer to the Mets. They did a couple of things. They've had to, whether Buehler's down and everything else, we know Urias and all the people and everything else. They got a great pitching staff. But you're not going to, you can't win it in the first 2 weeks of the season. And the fact that you need Clayton back there, I know it was probably a disappointing thing for him. He is the competitor that we know that he probably wanted to stay. And he probably, he said, hey, I want to stay in. And it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I just can't take an arm and a money that they're paying him, and they're going to take him out at the first twinge anyway. But I just, but when Johan Santana's name came up and Bobby's sitting here telling me, hey, Johan Santana's career was ended because he tried to pitch the perfect game.
But you look back, and what was it about those pitchers that you grew up facing that they pitched, they completed games? They didn't have arm troubles like these guys do now. Why is that?
We know more. We've got MRIs that tell you, and we've got trainers. We've got 14 trainers with 13 coaches. We've got everybody that'll tell you that we may have a little strand missing here in the muscle thing, and the fiber may have gone down and everything else. Jim Maloney threw a no-hitter in Chicago, 10-inning no-hitter. He threw 187 pitches. Well, he walked 10, hit 1, but that's beside the point. But 187 pitches, Nolan Ryan, everything else. It's now the mentality. We've got there's somebody with some kind of electronic thing that will tell you that if he throws more than this, he is going to be, more prone to injuries. More prone. It's like if you talked on the radio for 8 hours, would you have your vocal cords, and where they do it? And then would Fritzy take you out of the chair? I mean, give him a break.
I could have a word count. I'd be on a word count, Johnny.
Yeah, but you don't even go soft or safe or strong, whatever that was. I don't know what that soft thing was, but they were softball questions to begin with. But
Do we need to go with electronics to hide the signs now in baseball? What do you think of the modern technology for catchers?
I think it's cool. I've always thought it would be a great idea to have that happen. And of course, the chance of getting crossed up is a lot less. But I think Bobby brought up a great point, was the fact that what happens when the reliever comes in? Do you have to go to, all right, go to code 2, go to code 3, go to number 3. How do we pitch? Because he's doing different signs, but it's still an inside fastball or a splitter or whatever. I don't know if those things are communicating. I saw something on Sensill the other day that he made a catch, and he said because he had the sensor, he was able to adjust to what the pitch was going to be and get that extra step jump that got him to the ball, because he knew with him throwing hard, it was going to be more tendency to hit the right center. With the breaking ball, then he was going to have to shade towards left. So it was kind of interesting to hear that part of it. And I think that in itself is a pretty good play. And yeah, I think sign stealing, nobody's ever going to be safe from it, because I've got people in wireless right now trying to get all the signs. I'm trying to do a new technology.
What was your reaction to the Reds president, Bob Castellini's comments about, the Reds fans? What are you going to do? We can move the franchise here, away from Cincinnati.
Well, I was part of a new ownership that wanted to buy the ball club from W.J. Williams back in the early 80s. And we were part of a guy named A. Ray Smith out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. He owned the Louisville Ball Club, which was the AAA affiliate of the Reds. And he proposed to buy the Reds. And I was part of that ownership possibility. And W.J. Williams says, well, they'll move it. That's always been the call of everything that's ever been done. Any new ownership, they'll move it. If somebody buys it, they'll move the team. And that's always been the battle cry. I think, Phil, obviously there was an article written in the newspaper. There's a couple of billboards up saying, Bob maybe should sell the team and everything else. It's a shame, because his passion is second to none for that town and for that ball club, but he hasn't been able to get the winner that he wants or the city wants. And so Phil put his, had a little bit of it was a little testy. He didn't like the article that was written. He wanted to protect his dad. He wanted to protect his family. He thinks they're doing a great job. So he came out, and then he came back on the radio a couple of times trying to get that sort of soothed over. But it's just the normal thing that goes on. I mean, we had 43,000 for opening day, and, we had a lot of empty seats posing as people yesterday. So they just they're trying. Obviously, when they let Winker go, we know that Sonny Gray was fine. That was okay, because we've got some young arms that need a look. Ladello, we got Green, we've got some people that need an opportunity to pitch, if they're ever going to do it. But you can't sign Castellanos. You can't. Winker was going to be coming up with a big contract. They felt like Sensill could play in center field, and they're somewhat happy with what they've got, and they're going to hopefully have to prove it.
It's good to talk to you as always, Johnny. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure, my friend. How are you feeling? Okay.
Feeling great. Keep
it up.
I could probably give you about 82, 83 pitches.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's going to have to help me squat. Can I use a stool? They said, are you going to squat today? I'm catching the first pitch of the high school game here today. My boys go to. And they said, are you going to squat? And I said, if I could squat, I'd be making $15 million a year.
You can't get back up, though.
I know. I was thinking about making a comeback, but I pulled a muscle vacuuming the other day, and I'm really set back. So enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. That's Johnny Bench, Hall of Famer, Reds catcher, 14-time All-Star.